We will continue the request hour. We're going to be ending around 9:45 or so. So don't worry. You will get your chance to put your song in. So I'm going straight into the rhythm section because we have an amazing gentleman in studio with us. And he's doing amazing things, I believe, for the society. You know what? I say for the whole society of the Caribbean. So starting in Trinidad and Tobago and going out into the Caribbean region and by extension to the world because as Caribbean people, we love to travel, right? We love to travel. So let me introduce this gentleman who I only am now meeting for the very first time, but I've been talking to on social media and just being very inspired by his work. And for the rhythm section, I think it is an important conversation I'm going to be having. This is with Mr. Alvin Brown. He is the founder of Manly Man. Uh, I call it the Manly Man series. That's what I see it as. And I just think it's amazing. So, good morning, Alvin.
Morning.
How are you this morning?
I'm okay. Okay, no real complaints.
Good. I am so glad that we finally get to meet. That you took the time. I know that you're a very busy man and a man about his business. So just taking the time to come in and talk with us here on the rhythm section. So tell us a little bit about you, who you are, before we get into all the meat
well,
and bones.
well, I would say I'm simply someone who tries to think of the glass as half full,
Mm-hmm.
and I also like to find solutions to problems. So if there is an issue, I will fix it.
Hmm.
Long
Okay.
and short of it.
So you're a solutions man.
Yeah, I think that once there's something that you don't like,
Mm-hmm.
you can talk about not liking it, but afterwards you should be fixing it. If you can't fix it, then you should accept it. Otherwise, don't waste your breath.
Don't waste your breath. Yes, being proactive as opposed to just talking about it for eons
Yeah,
and
not
eons.
about that life.
Okay. I know that one of the things, in fact, I don't want to just guess on it. I just remember from just generally reading your bio, just bear with me because um, inspiration. Right. So, one of the things that you well, you have a degree ranging from electrical and computer engineering by training, with a wide interest. This is the part that really got to me: the interest in renewable energy, embedded in the computer systems, education, fitness, and personal development. But the renewable energy systems. Tell us a little more about that because that's very imperative right now in society.
Yeah.
We need to be really mindful of having sustainable ways of living. So,
Yeah.
what's your take on that?
My focus on that was biomass briquettes. It's basically, ever so often, if you own a home, you have to cut the grass,
Right,
unfortunately.
right.
And when you do it, if you live in the country, you probably burn it afterwards, or you find somewhere to dump it.
Hmm.
It is possible for you to use grass cuttings and other biomass,
Okay.
compress them, and when you burn them, you actually get a lot more energy from it. So some places actually use that for charcoal as a replacement for charcoal.
Oh.
And in some countries where you have a lot of deforestation, they
Mhm.
are forced to use different ways of getting their energy. And one of the ways to do so is by compressing grass and up leaves, etc.
Mhm.
Basically creating biomass briquettes.
See, oh my goodness, that's powerful. Because then it wouldn't then just become just the burning. Because I've seen it. I've seen neighbors doing that, where they're just simply burning it, and then that just becomes it's
So,
pollution.
and if it is you have your clothes on the line, you're not particularly pleased.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So instead of doing that, we could actually find a way to make it into a source of energy.
yeah.
So fantastic stuff. Oh gosh, I have to have you back for a completely different topic. So you are the creator of Manly Man. Tell us about how the inspiration. When did that? What was the catalyst that created this in the first place?
So I started teaching at a high school,
Mm-hmm.
and that high school it was at a point where it was Valentine's Day, and the young men were talking about who got gifts and who was gonna be giving gifts, etc. So they were very excited, understandably so.
That is so sweet.
And I said, all right, here's the deal, gentlemen. Today we're gonna be talking about girls. Of course, everybody started paying attention.
They're ready.
Yes, sir, I'm ready for this conversation. And we had a discussion, and I realized during that time that a lot of the young men didn't necessarily understand certain things. And one of the biggest things I have a challenge with is when I see a young man walking on the inside of the sidewalk and a young lady walking on the outside. So I spoke to them about that, and I also, yeah, I do a few things. I also do animations. So I started doing animations, and I said, welcome to the Manly Man series. And from there, I had a series of instructional videos on different things, whether it was cyberbullying, whether it was chivalry, whether it's bullying in general, every and anything that a young man needs. And it was based on the conversations that we had
in the classroom.
in the classroom. And then from there, I realized that because of the conversations, clearly the questions were such that they weren't comfortable having these conversations with their parents. So I started doing mother-son conversations where I would invite the mothers of the entire year group to come to the school, have a discussion with them, with their sons, and then from there have the sons go on a break and have a discussion with the mothers by themselves, because there's some conversations that are a bit more sensitive that would necessarily be needed in front of the
in the
young men.
public forum.
And then the whole idea of how men and women communicate differently. So a mother will say, honey, I needed to go and wash the words or wash the dishes. And he said, yeah, man, mommy, no problem. You didn't tell him when. So he has 2 to 3 working days to go and wash the plates. Now, when a woman says, I needed to do this, she means I needed to do this. No. But a man doesn't hear the word no, and therefore it's in his mind, it is open to interpretation. So it's having mothers and sons appreciate the differences in communication so that they can have better relationships. And then from there, I started doing father-son conversations, because fathers have a tendency of giving you things, giving you presents, and not giving you their presence. And it's very dangerous, because there was a predator who was interviewed, and they asked him, how do you pick your victims? And he
I'm sorry, you had an interview with
No, I did.
Oh.
I watched that interview.
Oh, okay.
With a lady who was interviewing a predator.
Right.
And she asked him, how do you choose your victims?
Right.
And one of the things he said is that he chooses them based on whether the father is a threat. But you can't be a threat if you're not present.
Yeah.
So if you're not going to the football game, if you're not being available to them, persons see that. Because that man was actually an official at a game.
Oh my goodness.
And he said he would give the young men, when he realized that they didn't necessarily have a lot of attention, he would give those young men attention, pay them more attention. So he's fulfilling a need. So we have to appreciate the fact that predators, that's their job.
Yeah.
And they're good at the job.
Yeah.
Our job as parents and caregivers is to protect our children from predators.
And what I'm hearing also, it's not just necessarily the pedophiles, but we're talking about a predator can be a drug pusher.
Listen.
It can be a gang leader.
And they're not necessarily different. Because a lot of times gang leaders, some of them will use any means to manipulate, including sexual abuse.
Wow, see? Yeah. Wow. So it's everywhere, and it's a real thing.
For sure.
Wow. Woo! We got deep real quick. Alvin, I know that we were with the topic, and it's very similar to, it goes into what we're going to be talking about. So I'm just going to say the question, which is like, why are young men struggling? Now, that doesn't mean every single young man on the planet is struggling, or that they're struggling all the time. But I think at some point in their lives, they will or are struggling. And it's I think my journey as a broadcaster has brought me here for whatever reason. I've done over the past 4 years many conversations with men, talking about the struggle that the male human being has, um, in their identity or their life and their perspective or even finding their purpose, all of that.
Mhm.
So let's start there, because I'm not going to have that perspective because I'm a female. And so I always love to then find out from the male perspective, what is that, how does that look. Let's start with that. How does the struggle even start off for a young man,
So
or
this
how does it look, I guess is what I'm
this is
saying.
going to be different for different people.
Mm,
And my statements disclaimer is do in no way imply that this is a broad stroke brush. One of the challenges young men have
mhm.
is some of them don't have male role models at home.
Right.
And we see the breakdown of families, and the challenge with that, like I say, no, we have better fathers and mothers, but we have worse husbands and wives.
Mm,
In the years gone by, you would stick beside the person regardless of how you feel.
regardless, yeah, yeah,
So the father was present. No, he may be more emotionally available, but he is generally not necessarily as physically present because
physically
you have
present.
less fathers in the homes now than you did before.
Right.
The challenge we have is there are some young men who do not have an identity because they don't see a positive male role model in their homes because that male role model is absent. Another challenge may come from having a male role model, but he isn't emotionally available.
Yeah.
I remember a man telling me that uh, a boy looked at his father and said, "All right, daddy, I love you," and the father was angry. You don't love the man. Don't let me hear you say love the man again. And this is a child who was about 3 years
Wow.
or so, telling his father that he loves him, and his father is reacting in a way that more than likely he saw his father react,
Yeah.
or his mother may have corrected him and said a
Yeah.
particular thing at a particular age. So we have to be appreciative that it's not just them not being available physically, but it may be them not being available emotionally as well. And then we also have the young man who is coddled too much by his mother.
Yes.
We don't have that conversation. But the thing is, and some person might get upset, but my back broad, so get it on. 90% of Ghana, no, disclaimer. My back is broad, but let me put a disclaimer first. There are a lot of mothers who do a wonderful job by themselves. Facts. I've seen it oftentimes. However, 90% of gang members come from fatherless homes.
Mm,
85% of youth in prison come from fatherless homes. So there are mothers who see their sons going into a particular path and they don't necessarily stop them. Some
yeah.
try and some don't. Some don't because when you come home with the money, I have money in my pocket right now. I'm not asking you where you get it from, and I know you're not working.
Yeah.
So sometimes the challenge with the men is that their mothers are not finding positive positive role models, and their mothers are also encouraging negative behavior.
Hmm.
So yeah, many reasons why they don't have a proper identity.
It's so it from what I'm hearing there, it's there's a lot. Oh gosh, there's so much to unpack there, because I can see a mother who probably has a mindset of okay, what's the opposite of abundance? Lack. A mindset of lack,
Scarcity
of
mindset.
scarcity mindset, and from they're doing the best they can, and that's the cap where they see themselves being able to the financially thing. So when they see that their son is bringing in something, they're willing to turn a blind eye because it's like, well, it helping, but you're not realizing there's something wrong with that. He don't have no job. Why he bringing in money? How he bringing? How he get them shoes? How he get this? Hold on. And it's more that because parenting is more than just being the financial provider, and but it's such a big thing for her perhaps, or whatever it is. I'm not giving an excuse. I'm giving just maybe the mindset, and changing that mindset of abundance and saying, hold on, I have enough love to give to this child. I have to find the way. There's so many things. I'm a single mom, and every day it's a challenge. um, and I've always feared before I even had a child. I said, I do not want to have my child not have a positive role model. Unfortunately, the cards I was dealt, where he's father's good, but is not present there. That's just the reality. So isn't present there. Um, Things can possibly change in the future. Um, but the thing is, there's so many of us, and sometimes it might not be where the relationship didn't work. It could be that the father has passed on at a very young age. So it can be that. It could be you got married, you had the child, you do it in the right way, but things just changed, sadly, for certain people. And now you find yourself now raising children, or one child, single as a mom, and you have that challenge. I believe that you still have to find a way, especially since we're talking about boys, that struggle that they have when they start to figure out, well, who am I? As a parent, man or woman, I think it is their duty, particularly, to fulfill, as okay, I'm not even for the man or woman, because if you're the man, you are fulfilling that side. You would be the one that's fulfilling the teaching the boy about how to be a man. But as the woman, you have to find those positive male role models.
Safe.
That's what I see.
Key thing being safe.
Safe.
Therein lies the challenge.
Yeah. Because it's where do you even begin when you don't have it naturally happening?
Well, one thing could be coaches or uncles and cousins, older cousins, etc., or grandfathers. The challenge, of course, is to ensure that it's a safe alternative, because unfortunately there are many instances of persons who are supposed to be safe who are not.
Yeah. And that can be, it could be in sexual abuse. But some people say, no, mine doesn't do that for sure. But there can be physical abuse,
and
emotional abuse, mental. And those are just as damaging.
And they could start exposing them to pornography at a very early age. Yeah, man, come watch this. And he is in no way. No, we have to appreciate as well that Trinidad and Tobago is one of the highest searchers of pornography online per capita in the world.
I have heard that. Wow. Woo.
COVID didn't help.
That's for sure.
No, everyone has a cell phone. If you confiscate a young man's cell phone, he starts to sweat bullets.
Yeah.
Because he knows what is in it. And sometimes what is in it, he would never want in any way, shape, or form his parents to see. So another thing that we have to appreciate is the importance of monitoring devices, because he's a child. An 8-year-old, as far as I'm concerned, shouldn't have a cell phone.
Right.
A 12-year-old doesn't have a phone. He may have use of our phone, but it's not his phone. We have to appreciate that a cell phone and any other electronic device is a doorway into your home. So just as how we wouldn't leave a door open and go to our beds, you having that young man or that young lady with a cell phone at 14 have to appreciate that is an open door, unless she understands or he understands what is actually happening.
Right.
And unless you put things in place, because we don't necessarily appreciate the fact that everyone can be conned. Every day you keep hearing persons say someone was attempting to purchase a car and got robbed, and you say still
it's true.
10,000 million times, and still if adults are able to be fooled, why would we think that our children can't be conned as well?
So true. Very, very, very true. We have to, I don't know, it's very scary, but it's, what is the other alternative? You want to have them to be able to have access to communicate. So you have that, and
give them a brick.
Give them a break.
Yeah, man. Today's version of a Nokia 3310, give them that. They can call, put credit on there so that they have no excuse, and all is right in the world.
And they can stay in contact with their friends too.
Well, the friends at school, so why they don't need to contact the friends while they're at school, because they're also at school. They want to
on holidays. On holidays.
fret not about tomorrow. Let tomorrow take care of itself when that time comes. Right now,
Oh,
they can go on a computer
that's true.
and keep in contact then with a nice, wonderful screen pointed to everyone so they can
Everybody.
see what is happening. But we're talking about identity, and one of the things that a young man needs
Hmm.
for his identity is confidence. And competence breeds confidence. And one of the ways that he develops competence is by chores. Make him wash the wheels, let him wash the car, let him clean up the grass outside, let him bathe the dog, let him feed the dog. Mothers generally have a tendency, oh no, no, you don't need to do that, you know. No, no. And that's where the father comes in, because the father generally is the one that pushes him to
Hmm.
do certain things.
Or they just don't listen, quite frankly. Or they keep forgetting. Or they so called forget
When the
when they're being
bass,
told.
when they hear the father voice clear clear and short, then all of a sudden everybody starts scrambling.
Yes,
Yeah.
I am so bad at that because I've actually tried it where I would lower my voice and say his name, da, da, da. And then he confused because he's like, "What are you doing? I'm trying to get you to listen." But it is so true that the male that baritone does get their attention. Any child is a
Yeah.
shame, but I think that's just how we're made. We're
Yeah.
made that way.
Mothers are wonderful nurturers,
Hmm.
and that's your superpower. When you're down and you're out, everybody wants to run to mommy.
You have such an impeccable um, link into the 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 well, obviously, okay, into manhood, and
Well,
it's
I've
not
been one
even,
all my life.
I know. And I was trying to get over that little hump there, but yes,
Uh,
it's not about that. It's that no, you have a great way of communicating it, because yes, there are men who have been better all their lives, but they're not very good at communicating.
fair enough.
Here's how to do such and such. Here's what is missing, or you do it so well. um
Thank you.
I want to give you now, because I know we're coming. Listen, I wish we had like an hour with you, Alvin. Um, this is a opportunity now that I want you to talk about. Okay, how the Manly Man series it came about. You said that. What what are the things that you do in it, and all of it, everything that there is about the series. You can talk about that.
So we have parenting seminars. We have a WhatsApp, yeah,
Ooh.
most of which are free. We have a WhatsApp group where the parents come and they'll message us, they'll share thoughts. And based on requests, we will do online parenting seminars. We've done one on Roblox, and every mother, every parent is like, my child is always on Roblox. Roblox is actually a number of gaming,
Mm-hmm.
a number of
Sites.
games
Yeah.
together. Excuse me.
Different types of games.
And one of the challenges with that is there are a number of predators on Roblox as well. I remember when I was advertising talking about Roblox, a child messaged me asking if I'm giving away Roblox money, and this child was, I think she was about, based on the IG, she
Mhm.
was probably around less than 10.
Hmm.
So she initiated contact with an unknown person asking about Roblox money. So that's a setup for her to
Mm-hmm.
be connected with someone who she shouldn't be connected.
Yeah.
So it's dangerous. Don't think because your child is there and your child is responsible that your child won't make mistakes. Everybody's human.
Right.
So we do online seminars. We also do boot camps where we expose persons, to young men generally, to life skills. So whether it's learning how to cook, how to change a car tire, how to the basic self defense, how to develop emotional intelligence. We do these things during the school term on
Mm-hmm.
weekends, and we also do it during the Easter and July August vacation.
Right.
We're heading to Jamaica in a few
Hey.
weeks.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna do our first boot camp there,
Fantastic.
and we're also this year for the first time doing a boot camp for young ladies, because ladies also need to know how to do self-defense. Ladies also need to know how to
Correct.
change their character. Ladies also need to know how to manage their emotions. So it's again recognizing a need and fulfilling that need.
fulfilling it. Fantastic, fantastic work. I know you have, it sounds like you have a huge team that is on board to put that together. No, at least passionate persons that are definitely in it for. What do you think would be the benefit for persons who are listening and they're like, I have a child, a grandson, a granddaughter who, for future programs that you have, what's the benefit for them to
The,
be a part of
the
it?
benefit is competence, one, and confidence allows them to be less susceptible to predators. Because one of the things that that same person spoke about, the same predator, is that he looked for individuals who were not comfortable in themselves.
Hmm.
So we're all about developing confidence because it reduces the probability of them becoming a victim.
Yes.
We're also in the business of improving their relationship with their parents. One of
Yeah.
the challenges he has is he also tries to look for persons who would not, who appear as if they wouldn't talk. They won't tell their
Okay.
friends, they won't tell their family anything.
Yeah.
And therefore, one of the things we strive to encourage constantly is developing healthy relationship with their children. They can do stupidness, They will do stupidness.
Mm-hmm.
That's really. The question is, when it hits the fan, are they competent and say, listen, mommy, this is what I'm not gonna get in trouble, but I gotta tell you, this is what is happening. And once that's the case, your child is so much safer.
Yes.
Yeah.
We need to do that for all children throughout the Caribbean. I pray that nothing but utter prosperity for your program to be a success in Jamaica and all over the whole Caribbean need to have it.
For real.
You know.
Thank you. And if they want to get in contact with me, they can find us at the Man Le Man series on Instagram, on Facebook, and YouTube, and they can contact us at 363-0006. That's 363-0006.
Alvin, any other final thoughts that you want to say to the listeners out there?
I would say the most important thing is to have a healthy relationship with the child. Let them be comfortable enough to be able to come to you whenever there's an issue. Secondly, it's important for you as parents to give them structure.
Yes.
Men need structure. And when it is that they realize that you love them, they'll take the butt up. But you need a relationship and you need structure.
I'm sorry, because I'm not a Jamaican. What they take the bat up? What does that
It
mean?
means a correction.
Okay.
So, for instance, like when I one of the things that I do is I teach, and the young men know that when it is foolishness, they will be corrected swiftly. But they also know that if it is that they actually have a need, if it is that they actually they need to be heard, they will be heard. And they know I'll bat in their corner for them. But they know when they do rubbish, so there needs to be balance.
Balance is key.
Yeah.
Love it. I want to say thank you so much, Alvin. This has been enlightening. I know that our listeners are happy to have gotten this. And folks, please reach out to him. If you can even, I don't know if you can support in any kind of way, please.
Yes, we're looking for sponsors. So if it is that you want to sponsor us, we teach them how to change a basic plug. We teach them how to do basic plumbing. So if it is that you have a construction company or you have a hardware store, get me up 363-0006. That's 363-0006. Or if you want to sponsor a chat, let us know. So
just remember, you are here. You will always be welcome here. Thank you so much. The doors are welcome, open to you to come back at any time.
Much appreciated.